Hello everybody! I hope you're having a wonderful day. This is a new series I wanted to give a shot. Not only because I wanted to play some Elder Scrolls Online, but also because I think it'd be a fun series to do. More gaming related at the very least. I really hope you enjoy it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Evan from HIMedia, and I am so happy to welcome you to this episode of Mechanic Panic, the show where we take a look at in-game mechanics and just do a quick review of them. We're here in the Elder Scrolls Online on my main character, and we are here to discuss Antiquities. So the Antiquity mechanic was brought into this game during the Greymore expansion last year, Year of Our Lord 2021. Oh wait, no, that was the year before that. My bad. Sorry, I completely brain deaded Deadlands and didn't even pay attention. God, where did last year go? Point is that this mechanic is a integrated version of treasure hunting, functionally, with not only sellables that you can get for a ton of gold, but also frankly badass pieces of gear and even mounts and other costumes and things like that. It came out to mixed reviews. Some of the more gameplay combat heavy focused parts of the player base were just like, what the fuck is this for? This is a pain in the ass, which is absolutely justified, all things considered. I like getting about in Cyrodiil myself and running trials, but there was a large amount of the player base who does enjoy the non-combat theme park elements of Elder Scrolls Online, the type of people who usually spend a lot of time furnishing their houses, that this was a colossal boon for them. Not that I'm here to weigh in on any of that either way. The point is that the mechanic itself is actually fairly well done. You use two different skills, your scrying and your excavation, and because I am a tryhard, you can see that these are both maxed out. And you can start it by going to the current zone under scryable, under available, selecting something, and then you get a cute little mini game where you start here and then you have to get to these arcane nodes by using different tools you have up here, such as coalescence, which will automatically turn a bunch of these little non-arcane nodes into the same type. And it's just a cute pattern matching game, trying to get to these in the least amount of steps as possible so you don't fail. You also have things like dilation, which claim every type of a node of the same type that you select that connects to all your current nodes. So if I click that one, it gets me all these, and I can click that, and then that, and now I have another node. Lastly, which is what I think is the most broken, is Farsight, which allows you to do a large stretch from your claimed areas to the nodes themselves, which is all well and good until you realize that you can just cheese it out and never have to worry about it again. Which, for the good and the bad of this mechanic, as fun as it might have been to level it up, unfortunately does make it redundant after a period. The next part that happens is that you get a little area on your map and have to use a collectible called the Antiquarian's Eye. I like to put it on my quick bar because it's just a little bit quicker than having to go into your collections menu, go to your tools, go to the Antiquarian's Eye. It's just a lot less convenient, personally. Eventually you'll find a little mountain like this. This blue sign you see is the result of the excavation perk that makes it easier for me to actually see treasure chests. And since this technically counts as a treasure chest, I can see it too. Now, here comes the excavation part, and this part doesn't necessarily get old like the Antiquarian part. You have 4 different tools at your disposal. I think only 3 are available by default. That is the auger, which allows you to search the actual plane of dirt itself using the allotted charges you have. Your goal, functionally, is to find a green thing which will say like, oh, your treasure is here. From there, you use your hand brush to sort of brush away some of the debris, so you can use large things like the shovel, which gives you a large area and breaks down. Also, the other cool aspect of it is that you can also have skills that give you that auto refill your thing with a certain amount of chance as you use them. You also have the trowel, which instead of a large area, digs straight down, but is much more potent. So from here, I am excavating what we have here. And it's a chest. So the other thing you're going to want to note is that aside from the actual treasure itself, there's usually little pieces, like, which I just destroyed one there. There's usually little pieces of treasure surrounding, whether it be gold or other little treasure chests. There's actually a handful of enchanting ruins that can only be gotten from excavating like this. So while yes, there's absolutely treasure to be gotten from doing this like normal, you also can benefit by getting things like coins and other treasures and things like that. And when you do a lower quality lead, you get a blue lead like these. And so you keep ramping that all the way up until you get a thing like this lead, the torque throat guards. And this brings me to my next point. Some of the most valuable treasure you're going to be able to find here are mythic items, which are one-off sets pieces with very, very powerful effects, which this is, I think, the fact that made a large amount of the player base not super excited about it, because there's a difference between engaging in a mechanic because you find it fun and interesting, and then there's engaging with a mechanic because you have to. And I am very empathetic to those players who may not want to spend all their time, or a significant amount of their time, bumming around in the overworld, hunting for things that they don't necessarily care about. But now we're going to go to Craglorn, and I'm going to show you what a legendary excavation looks like. So I start by grabbing the Torque of Total Guards, which is a piece of the Torque of Total Consistency, a mythic item in question. I start the process of just burning through the Antiquities again, like I said, at higher levels. You know, the Antiquities minigame, the scrying minigame kind of becomes redundant. We fast travel to the location in question, and after we load up, I pop my Antiquarian's eye, go here, and this is just a speeded up version of what a more difficult build of dig can look like. I was lucky and was able to find it right off the bat, and the one thing that I do have that you can't have an issue with is the fact that when you get to the higher levels, you actually can't scry past that layer of top dirt you see in the top left corner. But thankfully I found it early and was able to get not only the main piece, but also one of the add-on bonuses without breaking anything else. If you break anything, you have to restart, and the Antiquity functionally warps to a new location. And this is where I want to talk about the next big part of the game. And frankly, the last thing I did want to show you guys was the Codex. So what's the point and what's the lore reason for doing all of this nonsense? Well, you joined a thing called the Antiquarian Circle, which is functionally historians. And whenever you have whenever you dig something up, you send it away to the Antiquarian Circle overnight, and they analyze it, and you get these little lore dumps here. And the cool part is that each one of these has their own little codex entries, and you can see the different historians like debating about it. And they all have their own little type of, what's it called? I'd say charm. And while some of the higher ones may not have it, it certainly is interesting to see the different things on available. And I love, and that's one of the things I will say I appreciate about this system. It could have just been, go here, find this shit, dig it up. There's a duty of care here that I find very, very respectable. And I think that is something worth celebrating. Good on the ZeniMax developers for putting the effort in here, and I appreciate that. So, what's the verdict? Personally, for me, who is more, while I may not always play as a casual, I do run in, Cyrodiil and run in trials and stuff like that. I'm a higher level player, but functionally I like chilling. And as someone who likes the option of good vibes, I have to say that the Antiquarian system is really good. I like it. Is it for everybody? Absolutely not. But that's part of the thing with MMOs. MMOs are supposed to give you options. When the point of an MMO devolves to you're just only really doing this one thing, that's not super fun. But this is not true of, but this case is only true really of MMOs, not really of every game. But as far as the mechanic goes, it is executed perfectly. I don't think even after launch, I don't think I ever saw a bug or an issue with it. And I think that the rewards you get for doing so range from, some money in your pocket to genuinely useful. And now with the advent of the sticker book or the set collection, it's, even more valuable to do so. Especially for the ADHD-minded among us who like to see the bar go up. Regardless. Big fucking thanks to my patrons. Big thanks to my Twitch subs. Thanks to both groups for supporting me. If you want to become a patron, links right below me or in the description down below. Now, I thank you so much for watching. There's going to be an ad following this that is owned, operated, and run by one woman, and it's a small business. It's a candles thing. I encourage you to check it out and to watch. And there will be, details discussed in that last minute. But if you want to hop off now, feel free, and I thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. This video is sponsored by Skullby's Candles. Skullby's Candles is a tiny little Etsy shop run by an old childhood friend of mine, and she makes these beautiful smelling, beautiful looking, very rich in color candles that, through my own personal testing, mind you, last anywhere between 36 to 40 hours of burn time all the way through. They're fantastic, they smell great, I love them. They're all homemade, they're all organic, they're all low heat, and they're all for external use for the kink inclined among you. You can use my code HIMediaTV on the screen right now, or use the link down in the description for 10% off your order of $25 or more. Thank you so much, Skullby's Candles, for supporting HIMedia, and thank you guys for supporting this small business that I think is worth your time. And now, on with the video.
Poggers.